You're listening to Modern Male Radio with Jerod Zavistoski, right here on LA Talk Radio.
What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Jerod Zavistoski, and you're listening and watching Modern Male Radio. This is all the stuff your mama should have told you and the stuff your daddy never knew. And joining me tonight, we've got Scott Cordoza.
Hello
and
there.
what was your name again?
Bert Hickson.
Bert Hickson. Okay, cool. Good. Normally we have Sarah introduce the guest, but she's not here tonight, so we get to just kind of jump right into it. And this is exciting because I've been talking about this for, 6 months now. Mm-hmm. We've been slowly dropping hints that Modern Male Radio might be going to, bigger, better pastures, that it might be getting on TV, and that we might have a deal in the works, and we might have, be doing some sketch comedy for this big company. And now I get to have the actual guys that are behind all of this excitement on the show. So yeah, this is awesome. And why don't you guys kind of introduce yourselves, give a little bit of your background, and then we'll go from there.
Beautiful. Scott Cordoza, CEO, Gravity Point. We are a baby Viacom is like how I like to explain it.
Okay.
We're kind of like an infancy of a conglomerate that has veins like an MTV. We have EDM TV. Where Viacom has BET, we have Gravity Point. And where there's a news outlet, we have what's called Omission Report. So we have 3 distinct properties that are very, very interesting and developing independently, that are coming on strong at this particular junction.
Nice. So Omission Point, is that your conspiracy theory?
Omission Report, that's the conspiracy one. And
what
it's
a good name.
News. Thank you.
What a good name, Omission Report. I love that.
You know what the problem was?
What?
Is that every time I did deep research on a conspiracy, it always turned out to not be true. There are exceptions.
The conspiracy?
Mm-hmm. The conspiracy always turns out to be nonsense.
Yeah.
But there are some real ones. JFK, that's a real one.
Yeah.
9/11, that's a real one.
Yeah.
Fillings in the teeth, they are bad for you. That's a real one, but that's about it. Every time I went through like 17 episodes before, and I only had 3 that were real. I'm like,
yeah, but it's better if it's where did people omit stuff to no, that's great, that's awesome. I have friends that are conspiracy theorists, and I mean it's so annoying, especially when the conspiracy theories are bad, and it's like it's just asinine, and we're trying to push this, well, this happened, like especially when the people talk about the Sandy Hook murders, and they're like,
so sad.
Oh yeah.
It's like, and people are literally going, oh, that's a conspiracy theory set up by the government, and I'm like,
no.
Yeah.
Do you realize that what you're doing right now, that is not correct?
That's one of the ones that I looked into, and it's bullshit. And we're allowed to say that because this is internet radio, right?
You can say whatever you want.
I can say fuck if I want to.
As many fucks as you like.
You can say that?
If I don't give a fuck, or 2 fucks.
you can give more fucks or less fucks. It depends on you. I mean, how many fucks should a fuck give?
Wait a minute. Woo! No FCC regulations apply here, what?
Nothing.
Isn't that great?
Nothing.
This is the World Wide Web, my friend.
Yeah. LA Talk Radio is famous for saying what they want, and 50% of the other hosts are porn stars.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Retired porn stars. People have got naked in this studio in that chair.
I don't think I want to see a retired porn star.
No, that's why they stay on the radio side.
Oh, I see. I love it.
But so the retired ones end up having the newer ones on, so that's always good. And yeah, I mean, the video segment at this particular station was actually created to showcase the new up and coming porn stars.
Wow, that's so perfect. That overlaps so well.
Yeah, no, Sam is an amazing human being, and he had the foresight to put this whole thing together.
It's genius.
Thanks, Sam. And
do we have a time slot that we can get some porn? I don't know. We shouldn't do that.
We can do all sorts of stuff. I know plenty of people, and again, I have plenty of content for you guys, personally and through other channels. So we'll be able to talk about that. So why don't you give me some history on you, and because this is the first time we've met.
Okay. I am the CSO of Gravity Point TV, and that's the Chief Sales Officer. Although he's a much better salesman.
Oh,
than
I
I
think
am.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
He's
man.
pretty good.
He's a much better salesman
Sell
than
snow
I
to,
am.
snow to Eskimos.
And you know, and it's a funny thing because my background really comes from the music industry as far as entertainment goes, and the entire music industry has crossed over, so to speak, I would say, these days. And yeah, because back in my day, and I'm a little older than you fellas, yeah, just a little. The twain never met unless we had to give them some music for the film industry. But now, music artists, the first thing they want to do is be on screen.
Yeah.
You know, and we didn't like actors and actors back in those days.
Yeah.
You know, so it has totally transformed, and I transformed with it, went over to the production side. I had a couple hit records back in the days and
Nice.
as a producer, and now I'm a producer, independent producer. And getting hooked up with Scott here was a big deal. I immediately was like, I'll do. Just tell me what I got to do.
He's a pretty good salesman, isn't he?
Yeah. and the reason being, I recently did an independent TV series, and it's so
Called?
difficult. Called, yeah, they would be pissed if I didn't say it. Sangre Negra, the TV
Okay.
series.
It's good. It's really good.
Okay, awesome.
And they even put-
Secondary market show.
Where is it?
It's barely anywhere yet.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
So it's just
it's
pushing
still-
it.
Yeah.
But the reason
Okay.
I said that too is because our network will give independent film producers an opportunity to show their wares and show their work outside of YouTube and the festivals. And
That's right.
There's only two areas that film producers
Yeah.
have a place to show their work. And this is another opportunity for them to get it on TV and to be seen, and for it to even go further than us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We inhabit that space that's like better than YouTube, but not cable.
Yeah, yeah.
Like below like CW, below like Bravo, but above like, most of what you see on YouTube. We're in this middle zone somewhere. And it's not just the film producers, although the film producers benefit dramatically, especially the documentary ones where people actually really will watch specifically those kind of things. But a fascinating thing just happened in the last couple of years with those that have been making digital content, like YouTubers.
Yeah.
The cameras that we're using
Yeah.
suddenly are better than broadcast quality used to be.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, you're making television quality content.
Yeah.
So we have students, we have high school, college kids submitting shows, creating shows from scratch, pilots from scratch.
Yeah.
You and I are going to sit down and bust out 3 solid comedy pilots in the next.
I brought you a script. I brought you a rough of the script.
So that's an opportunity that's real. And what I mean by real isn't just that it gets on the air, because, that's not as uncommon. But you can own your content with us.
Right.
You own your ideas with us, and they go on the air, and we split the money. It's a good model that we're here to promote and start getting people interested in.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're pretty booked for a little while, but say come spring or summer, we'll be open to new shows.
Yeah.
Right now, we have 154 shows, including 3 that you're giving us.
I think including this show, right? Well, this is one of them?
This is one of
yeah.
them. Yeah, this is one of them. Divine
No, this
comedy.
is 4. This is 4. Because
You have 3 comedies?
I have three sketch comedies and then this. Yeah. I have-
Jeez, sweet jeez. 155 shows,
Yeah.
folks. You heard it here first.
yeah, and then Modern Male Radio. But yeah, and that's really, really interesting, and like to kind of reiterate that to people about what's going on. I mean, the rev share model it's going to drown YouTube, because YouTube doesn't pay out very well. I mean, they give you a 1/10% of the what the advertisers pay to put ads on your stuff, and they're really, really kind of hostile about your creative freedom on YouTube and all this stuff. So it's created a need. A lot of people are looking for another platform. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I like YouTube, but it's becoming oversaturated. There are a lot of problems with YouTube. It's not as bad as, say, Facebook, but it might be getting up there here shortly. And I kind of heard a buzz about this whole rev share platform. People were talking about this right as I met you, and it was like I knew this was going to be the next big thing when these guys were going out and they were scalping YouTube
Yep.
Celebrities or personalities, and they were going, hey, we'll produce the same show or a better show for you, and we'll give you 50% of your money.
There it is.
So all of a sudden, this influx of these people that are basically getting robbed by YouTube, and they're relying solely on endorsement deals, and hoping to get somewhere in life are being capitalized on, and are allowed to make their own money.
Exactly.
There are also, and I'll just say, there are also a lot of unscrupulous distributors out there. Folks that want you to pay upfront large sums of money to get distribution in the whole 9 yards. Stay away from them.
So hello, Nubian film producer, television producer. One thing you have to know is anybody that wants to charge you money to make your show, they're full of shit.
They're full of shit.
They are.
They don't believe in you. They believe in your ability to give them a paycheck. People who believe in you, they have cameras, they have lighting, they have location, they put you on the air, they have distribution, they create things with you, they partner with you. The definition of partnership is equals.
Yes.
Half. That's simple. That's easy to understand.
It's very
and when
easy
you're
to
up here
understand.
trying to figure out YouTube, you're lost in this giant ocean
Of shit.
Yeah, it's a shit show, obviously. No offense to the Google guys. Got lots of friends over there. Hats off to you. Congratulations. But we're going to break you at the knees. And here's why. Because we're going to give more money of what's made that we make is going to be split equally, whereas what you get, like you're saying, it's a percentage of a cut of your mom's, baby's, uncle's, best friend's, dad's portion.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? By the time it gets down to you, you can't earn a living when you're actually killing it.
Yeah, and I have a really, really cool piece of software that actually I can go on anybody's YouTube channel and I can see exactly how much money they made on the video per million views or whatever, and you can go through and you can look at the demographics and how many of the views were real, how many of them were paid for.
It's heartbreaking.
All of those different things, and it's like, yeah,
It is
dude,
heartbreaking.
you get 5 million views on a video, you think, oh wow, that's viral, that's amazing, and it's like I think $2,800 or $1,800 or something like that, and you're like, that person made $3,000 on that. 5 million people enjoyed that, and he made $3,000.
Right.
And don't quote me on the number because it could be wrong there, but it's something like that where it's ridiculously low. You get like 50 million views or something, and you're looking at $20,000. And there are TV networks that would pay $10 million to get 50 million views. Would pay more than that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just very interesting, and I really liked the idea of working with you, mostly because a lot of our stuff would never make it to air.
Right.
Not necessarily because of the quality, but because of the adult content.
Yeah,
I'm not good with censor. Yeah.
It's so edgy that if it goes on cable, the gloves are off.
Yeah.
And that's the key to our distribution model is it's IPTV. I don't know if everybody's familiar with that, but basically your smart TV. So here's a short list of the places that we've gotten permission to make the application, or we're building the application, or we're done with the application.
Okay.
So
Go for it.
We're done building the Apple TV application. Ours will be linear, which is really special because if you go on Apple TV right now, it's all on demand and you're looking through something kind of like Netflix. Whereas ours will be a reflection of our linear channel, except on Apple TV. So it'll be like television. You can sit there and zone out and watch it all day.
Okay.
Amazon Fire, Amazon Stick, Sony PlayStation,
Oh wow. Okay. You guys. Yeah.
Xbox.
Nice.
And the list goes on. Some of it's a little bit secretive for just a little bit longer, but to give you a sense of it, we're in talks with most of the major cable distribution sources that you would think of that have to do with a subscription that you pay to be a part of their service. So,
Dun dun and chill. What?
and very soon we'll be making those announcements. Beyond that, we have this wonderful relationship with HTTV, which is down the street in Irwindale. They give us studio time and office space, and they are the ones providing us third-party measurement, and very soon our local LA station, which will then be syndicated via satellite
Yeah.
to quite a few other places.
When is the LA station opening?
We could have it now, but it's standard definition, which
Oh.
means changing all of our content. I can just to give you a sense of how long it takes. So 155 shows now with you.
Okay. Yeah.
With this show included.
155, motherfucker.
Bill Maher would love to be on this show.
We take
Yeah,
one
we'll
show.
take him.
We'll take 'em. There's a chair right here, Bill.
Yeah. Come on.
We smoke too.
Yeah.
So if you look at how long it takes to upload a single show into like a television station, one show ends up being about 6 or 7 hours worth of content just upload time.
Oh, wow.
So 155 shows, then downgraded to SD, and then uploaded is literally months worth of work.
Yeah.
And so we had a big meeting with the guys at HTTV. Like, we're not quite ready for that yet, but in 3 months or less, we'll have HD boxes that hook up to the station, and we'll have 3 different. They'll have a music one, they'll have one for us, and then they'll have their own, which is primarily Mandarin, but it's Chinese speaking.
Okay, cool.
And so we're doing a show with them that's kind of interesting too. EDM TV China.
Nice. Okay.
Which we're very excited about. It'll be a Mandarin and Cantonese speaking host, a lady that was a part of CCTV previously. She'll be hosting, and we'll be having the same sort of music videos that you would see on EDM TV, which is one of our flagship properties.
Yep. Matt Bolton.
Matt Bolton.
We were supposed to have it on the show.
Shout out. Who was supposed to be
Hey,
here
Matt.
as well. Brother Matt. Enjoy Canada. I know you're snowboarding right now.
Snow.
We all miss you, buddy. Come
Yeah.
home. So distribution channels that way, and then we have syndication beyond that through, we just signed a deal with these guys called Extreme that are out in the East Coast, so that's 20 different cities
Wow.
for its East Coast distribution. I don't have the list yet, but I'll share it with you
Yeah.
so you can tell your viewers. Those of you who are on the East Coast, 20 cities worth, you'll be able to hear Modern Male Radio or things that are like it, whatever it is.
Hear
we
and
create.
see. Yeah.
Hear and see.
And our lineup for the next few weeks in the girl department is quite exceptional. We're gonna have some really good looking women on the show. So look forward to that. Hopefully right in time to launch on those networks.
I'm very pleased with this idea you have here. Hot women. We have that formula too. Hot women, music, parties, happiness.
I mean, it's not necessarily a new idea. I mean, people have been doing this for decades. Like, oh, how do we get people to pay attention? Let's put a hot chick on it. Yeah. Let's do that. Oh my God, he's a genius. But it's funny because I kind of did the same thing, but at the same time, there's a unique perspective in the way that I do it. Rather than just, oh, hey, here's a girl, let's show her tits and put a Coke can in her hand and she'll sell Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily like, it does attract the guys, but it attracts the guys because it's very pertinent to them. We're asking these women what they like about dating, what would attract them to the opposite sex, how this guy could get a girl like that, what these girls really look for. So it's a really, really awesome concept, and it's, these guys are coming on here, oh, hey, look, pretty girl. And then pretty girl gives him awesome information that actually allows him to grow and develop as a human being. And that was one of the things that when I got in this business, the date coaching business, I had kind of a chip on my shoulder because there are a lot of guys that claim to be dating coaches or they're pickup artists or they're this or that. And I see these gurus and these people and I'm like, I see them, the people that they're dating, and I'm just like, and some of the advice that they're giving, and I'm like, nah. So here's how we're going to put up or shut up, because I've always liked that. I'm like, look, you really want to see what works? We're going to see what works right now. We're going to bring these girls on the show, and we're going to see what works at this immediate, moment, instead of a bunch of dudes sitting around hypothesizing about how to get chicks. Yeah, bro, we're going to go get laid. This is going to be fucking awesome. So, yeah, it just doesn't work like that. So that's cool, and Modern Male Radio is getting tighter and tighter and tighter, because we've been on the air now 2 years. Almost 2
good
years.
at this.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we are. And it would be, when are we going to have you on Mission Report, man?
Yeah, let's
get in
bring
there,
it.
break some.
It.
Yeah,
Let's break some noise.
Yeah, I'm with that. Because it's funny when you said you're going to have a conspiracy theory show. I was like, oh my God, because I immediately when I hear conspiracy theory, I meet so many people that are interested in that and they're not checking their facts and stuff. And I'm like, I would have almost an anti-conspiracy theory report because 9 times out of 10 I've done the research to go, oh, well, that's debunked.
But it's a hell of a lot easier to debunk because it almost always ends up not true.
Well, that's great that you found that out.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to force feed,
We're taking our time with it. But like I said, the Kennedy one is hardcore real.
Yeah?
And the 9/11 one, hardcore
Oh,
real.
yeah, 9/11, yeah.
Both of those are just wow.
Have you seen Zeitgeist?
I have. That's a little bit of the information. There's
Yeah.
more to it.
Yeah, okay.
There was also a major gold heist in the basement.
What?
Yeah, and that alone says that they knew what was going on. Only one of the trucks didn't make it out of there because some the shit fell off of the ceiling, and as the semi was rolling over it, carrying thousands of pounds of gold, it got stuck on the beam. So
Wow.
only one truck did, but all the gold was evacuated out of that whole complex.
Wow.
There are a lot of really interesting things about that have to do with the savings and loan scandal and the shadow ops. For example, there are $200 billion that came to cash in from our shadow government, if you will, on that day. No, we have a shadow government that has this black operations fund. Basically, we as a country, we sell and import cocaine and sell it to our own people, and that becomes our black budget operation to go and thwart third world governments.
I didn't get none.
But long story short, that first floor that blew up was the one that was tracking what was going on with that money, and $200 billion cashed that day that we don't know where it went. 200. You want to talk about a motive?
Yeah.
Then just one more interesting
Yeah.
one. The day before 9/11, Donald Rumsfeld announced that $2.3 trillion had gone missing from our government's budget. Just lost it. I don't know.
Just before 9/11?
The day before 9/11, he announced that in the afternoon, and then the next day, 9/11 happened.
Everybody forgot about it.
But I'll go you one more.
But
That
they
one
had the
part of the
plan.
Pentagon, the
Yeah.
part that was
Right.
that had been newly reconstructed
Yeah.
and was referred to as the catcher's mitt.
That they went into.
Yeah.
That was where the budget analysts that were reviewing what happened to that $2.3 trillion were stationed.
Do you think your plane really hit that part?
No, it was a missile.
Ah, yeah. Because they didn't find any plane parts. None of the cameras caught the plane going in.
There's
Yeah.
no plane. No, it's just a straight up missile. We bombed ourselves. Is that hardcore or what? We
Wow.
took out the budget analyst. You're like, oh yeah, I'm an accountant. I got this job. I'm safe. Boom. You're
Damn.
catcher's mitt.
Game of Thrones has nothing on this.
That one's so good. That one's so good.
Jesus.
great
Look, I'm
conspiracy.
just happy that Ted Cruz is being plagued by this birther bullshit.
Oh,
That's
Ted.
enough for me.
What?
I didn't even know that
Ted
Ted's a
Cruz is
birther?
being plagued by the birther situation there.
Oh, whether or not he's an American citizen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm over here just like, oh my God. I think I officially made up my mind to go for Sanders today.
Yes, there it
Yeah.
is. Woo!
I know.
Baby.
Because I really like Sanders, and it's funny because I think that if we were in the 50s, Trump would be the obvious choice because he's got those
Sure,
very,
yeah.
very old-fashioned values.
Right.
He kind of reminds me of Teddy Roosevelt, and I
No,
wonder.
Elvis Presley.
Okay, fair enough. But if we compared Teddy Roosevelt to Donald Trump, I wonder how similar they would be. And it's just funny how we've grown to a place in society where we always think that we want to go back to this golden age. Everybody talks about the 50s and the American dream. But it's funny how great our collective consciousness has evolved and how we kind of see people and understand relationships now, where it's just like, people talking about let's keep them out, let's go to war, let's fuck this, it's not working. Sorry from the Trump supporters out there. You're welcome to support whatever you like. I personally, I'm kind of wooed by Sanders. I think that he's an amazing candidate.
I like Sanders and I like a lot of his stuff. My problem with Sanders, and I don't even have a problem with the 90% tax rate that he proposes, because the truth of the matter, in the 50s, under Eisenhower and those folks, they had 90%
90% taxes for the top 10%
and that's
of
when
earnings.
this country really grew. We had all of the freeways.
I don't think it isn't 90%. It's 50% past $3 million a year.
Yeah. Well,
during the
but
Eisenhower
the highest level
administration.
can go as high as 90%.
Oh wow.
Yeah, during
Okay,
the
yeah.
Eisenhower administration, it was 90%. The Bernie Sanders thing is not going to be that.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, I've been a Republican my whole life. I was born into it. I crave it. I love the whole idea of what we thought was like being independent and small government, states' rights, all that kind of stuff. And then the Republican Party should have stayed out of the bedroom. First of all, like whatever's going on there, none of your fucking business. You know, that's first number one. Then they get off in the weeds with like not being an environmental party anymore. What the fuck happened there?
Yeah.
And now they don't want us
Talking about weed, they don't like that either.
And now you don't want me smoking weed? Like where's the personal freedoms, bud?
Yeah.
And then Donald Trump comes out and he's a racist cocksucker. He can go blow me. And so at that point I'm like, I'm listening to this fucking idiot winning the Republican vote, like in the Republican base. Like, what have we become?
Yeah.
So I literally formally posted on Facebook and the whole nine. I've left the Republican Party. I'm endorsing Bernie Sanders.
Nice.
Fuck you, Trump.
So real quick, because time does fly on the show.
Does 15 minutes to go.
Well, so how did you guys, you kind of touched on how you came up, but you didn't touch on your background. Like, how did you get into this? How did you end up
I
here?
have a great story for you.
Okay, perfect.
But it will take a minute, hopefully not that many minutes. So I was 1995. I was living at my mom's house in Seattle, and her life partner, mom, dad-ish kind of thing going on. And I went to a party that was the celebration of the first broadcast between Japan and the United States.
Oh, really?
And it was the first internet broadcast, first live internet broadcast. It was a really big deal to those that were in the tech industry. It was hosted by Internet Connected Associates, and I went there, and I was wearing like my girlfriend's socks. You know the ones with the balls on the back? They go good with high tops.
I think so, yeah.
And like spandex shorts and a Who Farted shirt.
Oh my God.
If you can imagine this. And I've got a beer, and this is at the Speakeasy in Seattle, so it's an internet cafe with beer. So I'm standing in front of the camera, and I'm like, yeah, it's me on this side. I'm representing America. USA. America.
Yeah.
And then I look over at the big screen TV, and you know those bleacher things that you have in high school? Mm-hmm. There are stacks of businessmen in three-piece suits just standing there on the other side. I'm like, wow, whatever this is pretty serious.
Yeah.
And from that day, I vowed to figure out what the fuck the internet is. At that point, nobody had email. So this is like brand new. Everybody's starting to get Hotmail, it was called back then. And so
AOL.
So we made a company. We called it Gravity Point. We started throwing parties to publicize what we were doing, but the streams just were too small to support audio, video at all at that time.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of audio was technically possible under some circumstances. And so from 1995, the plan was, okay, one day the technology will catch up, and we will have a site that can be broadcast on television and through the internet worldwide with content that is across the board, underground content, independent producers coming up. Fast forward 20-something years, and now it's possible. And it's not just possible, we're doing it. We're like one site's up, the next site's coming, everything is working. We got the Apple TV thing going.
So when did you guys start working on this hardcore? I mean, what was your background in film? Did you kind of take some time off and then come back to it? Or
I stayed with this as my hobby that is like my primary resume, but I probably had 100 or so different jobs that I had briefly had.
Yeah.
Not that I got fired per se, it was just that they didn't want me to come back the next day.
Yeah, okay.
Those temporary ones where you go in, you sweep, and then like, okay, thank you, Juan.
Yeah.
And you're like, my name's Scott. No, we don't care. Bye. Bye-bye. So I had a lot of those jobs for a while, just supporting, keeping this momentum and this dream alive. And then about 3 years ago, it became very real. As I was saying, the cameras that we were using anyway to do our digital content, because we've always been doing digital content. I've always been doing ad sales. I've always been wrapped up in ad insertion and enterprise software. But when the cameras changed to where anybody with a freaking GoPro could suddenly make a television show or a movie.
The 5D first came out with that.
I mean, that's it. All bets are off. Yeah. Now we are the media, not just us. Like we, the people, are the media.
Yeah.
And there's so many good things to choose from that networks are beginning to form around specific genres, and ours is independence.
Huh. That's cool. So, do you have any background in film? Like,
really, really minimal. I've helped out on some documentaries. I've done some camera work, that kind of stuff. But my strong suit is in business development for software of some kind, like creating softwares from scratch, and advertising.
We got to make a modern mail software, man. We got to.
That's right. Got to have an application with some good. There are two things that all men need to know: and I'm just gonna stop and
Let me get my pen.
like
Go ahead.
Number 1, there is a temperature just past hot that is amazing on the satchel.
What?
I know I know at first you don't believe me. You're like, what? But if you have the shower head that comes off the hanger, there's a temperature just past hot that is just amazing. That's number 1.
Okay.
Number 2. And this one pains me because this one applies to me. I don't know how much extra you guys are packing out there, but for those of you that get the belly to do what I have done, which first seems like magic, where it's almost like you're pregnant, but you're not. You never give birth. You just carry it around with you. What happens is this V-shaped tug that you'll never forget the first time it happens, as it begins to roll your penis back up and shrink it by roughly a third. So, what I'm telling you is, don't let it happen to you, brother.
I'm so lost.
If you get too fat,
Yeah.
your penis will shrink by about a third.
Oh, like the FUPA principle. You
The
get
what
that-
principle?
Yeah, FUPA. You
What's a
you get that.
FUPA?
A FUPA is the area of fat that is surrounding the penis area. It's like, but yeah.
It is that?
Yeah.
That happens? It is real?
Yeah.
It's recoverable once you start smartening up about what you eat. But I will tell you right here, right now, don't let it happen to you, brothers.
So easy one for that, leg raises, and yeah, definitely diet. But it's funny because even someone like me, for instance, who I'm in relatively good shape and I'm relatively thin. If I stop working out a lot, my stomach will start descending like anybody else's, and I think that a lot of men that look like they're more obese than they are is because they just haven't worked out their abs ever, so they've kind of got this natural distended stomach, and it's almost as though they're like pushing it out on a constant basis.
I'm here to testify.
yeah.
So,
Testify.
yeah.
Testify.
And I apparently, as you get older, it just becomes harder and harder to keep it in. I mean, I've talked to a lot of people about this, and there was a time, even during this year, where I was kind of starting to go, oh shit,
Yeah.
getting older. But
The magic rule is if you can't see your penis, it's time to do sit-ups.
okay, so that's my.
Well, I've been saying that this was a decorative shield for my six-pack abs.
I'll drink a 6-pack.
You're like, you know what? I lived a happy life, and
Me too, man.
This is good living.
I'm carrying around a keg. So
Yeah.
Hey.
what's up? What's up now? Actually, my 6-pack is coming back. I'm
Bring it.
you.
working out like a motherfucker.
Wow.
Can I borrow it?
What's that?
Can I borrow it?
I'll
I'll bring it back wrinkled, I'm sure.
maybe. So we're getting there. Where can people find you guys? I mean, obviously this has kind of been a promotion all the way around.
Yeah.
So let me issue like kind of a closing statement, and we'll go into promotion mode. But this is cool. A lot of our guys out there, a lot of people out there, a lot of our viewers, this is just relevant. Like, it gives somebody the power to create something and put it through a distribution channel and allow them to kind of self-actualize their creativity and everything that they wanted to do. And this day and age, you can get paid to make content, to do what you love, to embrace that and really kind of explore your limits. And I'll tell you, our shows are not they're not super confined in structure. They're pretty all over the place, and they're kind of crazy. So I'd encourage anybody out there who's watching this to take a look at what you got. If you're thinking about it, do it. I've said it again and again and again, and this is a real big one in motivation and whatnot. It doesn't matter how talented you are. I mean, willpower will override talent. And there are so many talented people that don't make something of themselves because they're too afraid to try. They're too afraid to put themselves out there. And they keep thinking up these amazing ideas, and they never, they never actually take action. And then you can see this. You can see the proof of this on TV right now by just how many people that didn't have a single ounce of talent that go out and structure a show, produce it, and make it.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, and it's like, I wouldn't get cable. I've always been kind of against cable because there's fucking nothing to watch.
Yeah. Well,
It's-
who were the big winners this year? Netflix was one
Yeah.
of the big winners. Amazon, HBO,
Hulu,
like
was Hulu one?
Hulu.
Yeah.
Look, not ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, Turner, Viacom. Those were not the big winners. Those are not the big winners. So those are organizations that are like a big yacht, and we're like a speedboat. We got skiers behind us. We're in the sun and having fun. Those are old people getting sunburned.
Just mobbing through.
We can make quick turns. That's my point. We're like, whoa, let's go this way. Oh, let's look at that comedy.
Yeah, and we're actually renamed we renamed it Six Pack Comedy.
Six Pack Comedy. Holy shit, that's such a good idea.
We were shit faced the whole time. So
yeah, that's perfect.
Cool guys. So where can people find you? What have you got to promote? I mean, obviously we talked about.
We're here tonight to promote EDM TV, edmtv.net. Gravity Point is gravitypoint.tv. Look us up, find out about us, reach out to us with your content. 50-50 rev share. What's more fair than that? Beyond that, we'll be on Apple TV first, and then Extreme on the East Coast, and then here in Los Angeles. I won't be able to tell you the numbers just yet, but it will be associated with HTTV out of Irwindale. It will cover the larger metropolitan Los Angeles area, but you'll have to have the bunny ears to be able to see it at first.
That's a trip.
And EDM TV is streaming right now.
EDM TV is live right
You know
now.
what you guys should do is give out free bunny ears.
Well, that's exactly what we're going to do.
Yeah? You're going to give them out on the website?
Well, no, we're going to send them out to everyone that's news-oriented.
Okay, cool.
Like directly to them.
And everyone that comes on your show.
And everybody that comes on your show,
Yeah.
just give them another one.
Yeah, we could put a little Gravity Point logo down here somewhere. Yeah, I'm down. Cool. And where can people find you? I mean, same. Okay.
Same.
This guy,
Perfect.
I just got to say one thing because we only have a few minutes left. This guy sold more shows. We had 16 salespeople. This guy signed more shows to our organization than all of the other salespeople combined.
Nice.
That's because I'm old. I've been around a lot and I knew more people.
Well, you're just charming as fuck, and you know what's up. He's like, I'm gonna sell the fuck out of this show right here. But so this is good because you get to come on my show. So then when you get my shows, you can sell the fuck out of them.
Yeah,
too.
you're right.
Yeah.
We'll understand it so much better by being here.
No, this is great. So awesome, guys. Cool. Let this be a lesson to anybody who's working on their dreams. You know, if you've got a dream or a goal, you just stay with it. Stay with it. There have been so many times where I felt like Modern Male wasn't going anywhere and got frustrated and been like, what am I doing? And kind of started to walk away from it. And the next day I end up meeting somebody that's like, boom, yeah, we're going to do this big thing with you. And I think that you're also a perfect example of that. I mean, after 20 years, you're coming through and it's like the thing that you never gave up on came into fruition. And now you've got the the partners and the resources to actually put this whole thing together.
Yes.
And it's really exciting because, I'm really good friends with Matt.
A little chill.
Yeah. I'm really good friends with Matt, your partner.
Yeah.
And that, I've always been kind of in awe of how Matt puts together his businesses and stuff and just runs them. And, he's not your typical business guy at all. He walks up in board shorts and no shirt and he hasn't, showered in 2 days and he's like, what's up? But he does.
But he works day and night until he falls asleep. And then he wakes up and works again.
Well, that's one of the great
key,
things
right?
about Matt is he has no qualms falling asleep anywhere.
Oh,
it's literally just...
Yeah, he'll stop.
He's always passed out somewhere. But... and then when Matt really launched EDM TV, it was kind of like this, just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, dude, I'm doing this thing. He's like, why don't you come through with Modern Male Radio? And then I met you, and then the whole thing just kind of blew up. And I'm watching it happen now, as opposed like when we first met, to where we are now, to seeing the parties that he's had, the people that have been there.
Yeah.
Everybody's really really excited about this. So
this
it's
is
good.
happening. We have the resources, with or without funding. We are going forward, and now we're seeking funding. We're at that stage where we are legitimately ready to pursue that. So we're writing our business plan, and we're starting to reach out to the VCs, and along those lines, if folks are out there that have some leads on where we can get production money or where we can get corporate money.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things are still relevant, but with or without funding, we move forward. We already have the resources. We have the technology. We have the people. We have the talent, and we're doing it.
Well, and it doesn't take that much, these days, which is awesome.
Yeah.
You guys are kind of exploring that.
Yeah.
And let me leave you with something. The main items here are dreams, imagination, and persistence.
Yep.
Yep, you got to be persistent. You got to keep knocking on that door. When that door closes, you try and break in the window. If the window don't open, then you go right. Like I don't care what it is, I'm gonna get. And that's funny because that's actually how our deal happened. Is I kept pounding you until we finally got it, and then it was it all worked out from there. Well, cool guys, that's it for tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in.
Your ideas, own them for yourself. We'll distribute them.
That's gravitypoint.tv. That's it for tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in to Modern Male Radio.
USA.
You're listening to Modern Male Radio with Jerod Zavistoski, right here on LA Talk Radio.